Good day and welcome back to the Family Cyber Tips Daily. You see, public Wi-Fi is everywhere. Cafes, malls, airports. But is it safe for your family? Today on Family Cyber Tips Daily, we're sharing must-know safety tips for public Wi-Fi, especially when kids are involved. Okay? I can't give you enough. Let me see if I can get you going. Okay? The important thing is to establish what captive Wi-Fi is and what public Wi-Fi is. Okay? So if you're just joining, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So welcome to the Family Cyber Tips Daily. Today we are diving into something we are all used to, something that we all use but rarely think about. Captive Wi-Fi or public Wi-Fi, it's everywhere. But is it safe for your family? Stick around as we break down the risks and share practical tips to keep you and your kids secure while using captive or public Wi-Fi networks. Okay? Let me fix this thing that's doing my head in already. Let's see if I can fix it before we go into... After all, it's a life, okay? We'll get it right. Let me get this right. Okay, not sure how that happened, but it did. Okay, let's just get it right because it will do my head in. It will just be distracting me. Okay, where are we? Is it there? I'll lock that and lock that. Okay. Yeah, that should, and then I'm also gonna sit up. Okay, so that you can see me. Okay. Let me just make sure that you are seeing me. Okay. There's no harm in getting things right, because it would just distract me. Okay. All right. So we're going to be discussing captive Wi-Fi, and we're going to use that word. It's interchangeable, public, captive. But especially on the iPhone, I haven't really seen it on the Android phone, but on the Apple phone, when you pick up your phone and you're maybe in a hotel or you're in, let's say, an airport or even a school, you actually see it called captive Wi-Fi. Very first time I saw it, very first time I saw it, I thought something was up. But that's what it's called. It's called captive Wi-Fi. Let's find out why or what is captive Wi-Fi as far as definitions go, okay? So captive Wi-Fi, what is it? Okay? First, it's the free internet you get in cafes, hotels, airports, and shopping malls, or shopping stores. I don't know what they call them here in the UK. They often require you to log in through a web page before accessing the internet. And of course, that sounds convenient. Sure, I'm loving it so far. But here's the catch. These networks are not always secure, and hackers can easily exploit them to steal personal information. Okay? So let's discuss the risks of public Wi-Fi. So what exactly are the risks? Glad you asked. Okay. So using public Wi-Fi without protection can expose your data to cyber criminals, allowing them, looking at the risk now, I'm going ahead. When these things happen, they happen all at once. Okay, I'll just discuss the risks and come back to that section. Okay, So using public Wi-Fi without protection can expose your data, as I mentioned, to the rogues, the cybercriminals. It allows them to track your activity, steal your passwords, and even gain access to your personal accounts. Kids using devices on public Wi-Fi are especially vulnerable to cyber threats. On Saturday, when we had our live Q&A, monthly live Q&A, we couldn't cover this at all. So I promised that on Monday, we'll focus on captive Wi-Fi, and that's exactly what we're doing. As you know, on Mondays, we cover cyber safety and security, and today we're just doing that, okay? So the risks are real, especially to our children. And so we've got to find a way, really got to find a way, you know, to make sure that our kids are safe. Now, I'm not sure exactly what part or where it is you are with public Wi-Fi, whether you use it or not. But we're going to be discussing at some point, you know, the practical tips, things that you ought to do to make sure that you're not getting stung, you know, by these things. My network is running quite sluggish, so my pointers are not really coming on. But we'll just carry on. We're going to discuss practical tips, whether we like it or not. Okay. At some point, you know what? I'll probably just stop this whole pointer thing because really, it's not helping. But let's discuss the practical safety tips. I'll leave that alone. Like I've done once or twice, it's become a huge distraction. So let's discuss practical tips. We're going to go over some key steps to keep you and your family safe when using captive or public Wi-Fi. The first thing you need to do is to avoid accessing sensitive information. Whilst you're on captive Wi-Fi or you are on public Wi-Fi, don't access your sensitive information. Don't log into a banking app whilst connected to a captive or public Wi-Fi. Don't enter passwords when using public Wi-Fi. You know, you'll find that at the end, I will suggest that will be a bonus tip that we ought to do, you know, as a practical safety tip, okay? So don't use passwords or enter or log in general to your banking apps or anything that is crucially sensitive whilst on public Wi-Fi. Okay, second would be to use a VPN, okay? VPN, a virtual private network. The benefits of a VPN is that it encrypts your internet traffic, making it harder for those rogues or hackers to intercept your data. Okay, third thing that you need to do, a practical step, will be to turn off auto connect. You know, if you go to your Wi-Fi settings, you have auto join or auto connect to, you know, Wi-Fi access points. Turn that off. Disable your device's automatic Wi-Fi connection. And this will help prevent it from joining unknown networks without your say-so. Okay? Crucial. Turn off auto join or auto connect. I don't know what it is on either platform, Apple or Android, but turn it off. Okay? A fourth practical safety tip will be to use mobile data when possible. Okay? In some areas, sadly, it's 3G. In most areas, it's 4G and 5G. So use mobile data when possible instead of a captive or public Wi-Fi. Cellular data is generally safer than public Wi-Fi. I said generally, okay? So the fifth point I'll share would be to enable, this is now something we do on this platform, recommending multi-factor authentication or two-factor authentication. And I keep explaining that it adds an extra layer of security for you and your accounts. Even if someone steals your password, if 2FA or MFA is enabled, they still don't have that one thing that you have, which is the extra layer of security that the two-factor or multi-factor authentication offers or provides, okay? Sometimes it could just be a simple text message asking you to confirm a code. Some people actually have dongles, actual secure ID tokens that act in this way. And it's something that you have that the rogue does not have. And so you can see why it's adding security. All right. A 6 point. Yeah. Hello, 6. Where did that come from? Supervise your kids online. Make time. Make time for those sweet young kids of yours. Make sure that your kids are using kid-friendly apps, appropriate apps for their age or ages, and avoid entering personal information on public networks. Supervise them. No matter how much they are behaving as if they're 18, most kids, of course, if they do, you will know. The thing is, we parents know when our kids are ready. You can only know that they're ready if you're spending time with them, okay? So supervise them. Supervision will mean that you are making time. So make time for your young ones, okay? It's really a no-brainer. I promised you a bonus tip, and the bonus tip will be a hotspot alternative, okay? A hotspot is simply you enabling your 5G to be picked up by other people, yourself included. So if you enable a hotspot, your 5G now acts as Wi-Fi. So rather than get the public Wi-Fi, enable a hotspot, okay? And enabling the hotspot, you have the details. You can now log into your hotspot from another device, like an iPad or your laptop. It's one of the best ways to stay safe, okay? So use your phone's personal hotspot instead of public Wi-Fi whenever possible. Always add whenever possible, because at times it's really not possible. As in, you don't have a 5G, you don't have a cellular data signal. So of course that means you can't enable a hotspot. But wherever it is available for you to do, and the alternative is between captive or public Wi-Fi versus a hotspot, night and day, okay? Always choose your hotspot. It's more secure and it keeps your data private, okay? Yeah, but apologies for all the faff. Rather than be late, I rushed in, so I didn't prep as much as I would have loved to. But staying connected on the internet is great, but staying safe is even better. If you found these tips helpful, give the video the usual thumbs up, a like, subscribe to the Family Cyber Clinic YouTube channel. We are approaching the 1K. It's dropped off a bit again, so please get going. Subscribe to the channel. It is free, okay? And hit the bell icon so you never miss an update, okay? Let's keep our families safe online. See you tomorrow, same time. I've been your host, Lawrence Edem, okay? God bless and goodbye.